Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out of my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
All right. Welcome back, man. Happy New Year, man. This is DBDS Live, the most mature podcast related to relationship topics. I'm your host, Jamel Lawrence, relationship author, as well as topic specialist. And I'm here with my partner, my brother, author, Carl, better known as the Accountability Coach. And we are live on Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Twitch. And listen, man, we miss everyone, man. Before we even get started on our show, man, I want to give a special shout out to Danielle, a special shout out to Faye and Jemiah. I promised them that since they are newbies and they're watching the show, I was going to give them a special shout out. But listen, to all those who are joining us this evening, it's great to have you guys to join us. And Carl, man, I just want to know, man, how are you doing, man? This is the season premiere of DBDS Live, man. What you been up to, my brother?
Man, I'm excited about being back so we can drop these nuggets. We can get rid of all these toxic stuff off the airwaves, man. We can mosey on back in with the positive stuff, man. But I've been doing well, man. Business has been good, still all over the country. And my partner, big shout out to Jermaine. You know, we're doing our thing, and then I'm gonna say it, put it out there. You know, I done found love. You know, I done walked into one of the most amazing women I've ever met.
Okay.
She keeps it real with me. She keeps me going. She pushes me in the right way. Okay. Respectful, soft, feminine, beautiful. Awesome communicator. She's got my heart. I can say that. She's definitely got my heart. So, Ray, I know you watching, you got my heart. So it's been a whirlwind, but it's still, growth process, and I'm still growing and learning, and a lot of stuff that I'm doing and learning from this, I'll be able to help others with, because again, when you go, you go through divorce the way I did, sometimes you wonder, will I find love again?
She was the roadmap, brother. She was the roadmap.
She is. So she is definitely an inspiration for me. And just the way she is, she will be an inspiration for a lot of women out there also.
Wow, man. My man found love, man. Listen, I have to, beside the audience giving you a full clap, man. And I'm proud that you did not turn to the dark side. Most people after a bitter divorce, they end up going down that path. They end up becoming dogs. They end up becoming players. They end up becoming everything underneath the sun. And for you just to still believe in love and find someone that you care about, that's the purpose of the show.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy for you. I know this is Sunday, so let's get the choir to say amen. There you go. All right, that's enough. But yeah, man, we appreciate you, man, with everything that you're doing, and I'm glad to have you back on the show, man. So, but I know this year a lot of people have like these New Year's resolutions for 2024, like any short-term goals that you as yourself, because you was a part of a nice book that you came out with. You also been doing coaching. So, what other short-term goals that you have planned for this year?
Two things I'm definitely going to finish up doing. I have my own solo book coming out. I'm timing it different. I don't want to say live why, but there's a chapter I want to add to it. Most people might try to guess what that is, but I want to add a chapter to that book. So I want to definitely finish that this year. It's definitely going to happen. And then I want to start, you know, I'm in Houston, so, and I know they have different events and stuff like that, but I want to start doing what they call date working events. Like they have networking. I want to do date working events once a month and try to partner with people out there just to be able to set an environment for healthy relationships and for people to meet like-minded people who want to date, who are serious about dating and not necessarily dating with a purpose. I think they've overused that. Even the dating for data, I think it's gotten overused and misconstrued. But I want people who are dating for marriage, you know, not the purpose of it, but dating for marriage, what marriage stands for. And it's like we're just, you know, what we'll be discussing tonight, you know, the perks of marriage. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when two people truly desire it and when two people truly understand the work that goes with it. Because it may look like it's hard work, but it's beautifully when you're working together. It's like two dancers. You're working hard, you're dancing, you're sweating, but you're poetry in motion when you're in sync and in step and you're moving and grooving at the same time. So it's so I want to actually launch an event that's going to be doing that in Houston. So I'm hoping summertime that will be up and running. So got some other stuff down the pipe, but that's the main two I want to knock out. So
okay, my brother. I like that, man. Nice to hear, my brother. For myself, man, I've been working on my second book, which will be titled Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters, Change Your Mindset. That's another gem. Once ready, I will share with the masses. And also, I've been doing coaching a lot lately myself. And for those who want a fulfilling relationship, or to those who are looking for those words of encouragement, Carl and I'm going to tell you, audience, we've been sharing some great things coming in person to bring the podcast live. So we want to tackle these situations right then and there, have a glass of wine, listen to some nice music, and talk about some solutions when it comes to relationships in our community. So I think that would be a great idea. Those are some of my short-term goals. We just have to decide which city we want to hit, brother, you know, or which state we want to hit.
Yeah, that's going to be, I don't know. Like I said, maybe we get 2 in this year and 2 next year. We'll just try to figure out 2 different areas where we have with most of our members at. But I'm excited. You know, it'd be better than that other little show that goes around and people be doing all this other stuff. They give a bunch of great hits, but no.
I know
what
show you know about, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to put them on blast, but yeah, the show's trash. But anyway, we're solution oriented, not adding to the conflict. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think the key component as to why a lot of relationships fail, and this is why we need to put our show on the roll, is due to poor communication and a lack of conflict resolution skills. And I think us having that platform out there to the audience and to those that are joining, we want to expand our network so that individuals and couples alike, you know, they can get those skills necessary to have a helpful and a fruitful relationship, which is the perfect segue for our show. And today's show is titled The Perks of Marriage, which I'm excited to talk about, Carl. We have 2 amazing guests that's about to join us. But before we bring them in, what do you think about this topic?
Just like I said, man, there are more pros than cons to being married. And I think a lot of people abandon ship on a con. Not understanding what vows are and different things of that nature, but man, the perks of being with your life partner and to grow old with that individual, to just experience life, to grow together, watch each other develop and grow individually, but yet connected. Man, it's a blessing.
Such a beautiful feeling, man.
Yeah, that's why I say, that's why I'm telling you, I'm gonna say this, and we can bring in our guest, man. You know,
No.
even when I was in the middle of my divorce, even as crazy as it was, people were like, "Oh man, I just feel so bad for you," and I just put a smile on my face and I said, "I'm gonna get married again." I said, "I'm not done with marriage." I said, "I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get married again, and I'm gonna be married longer than the 20 years I was married. My next marriage." So
Yeah, I mean, I was not born to be a boyfriend.
that's what
I was
think,
not born to be a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was born to be a husband.
Yep.
You know, so to those out there that have this negative view, I'm telling you, the two guests that we're going to bring in today, they're going to bring down the notion and the perks as to why marriage is a beautiful thing. And I think a lot of reasons, I said this behind the scenes, maybe a lot of reasons why people believe in divorce and all this other stuff, I have to blame it on the Lifetime movie network, man. I think the numbers are skyrocketing, brother. You know, I have to blame it on them, man. You know, it's like shows like that, Love and Hip Hop and all this other stuff, they contribute to this negative falsehood of what marriage is. So go ahead, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. It does. And I think if people would get to this point in their life, I'm gonna say this. Let's roll. If you understand, marriage is the starting point, not the goal. Marriage is the starting point.
Wow.
It's not the goal.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what a lot of people think once they're married, that's it. But no, marriage is literally your starting point of your relationship.
Wow. They have my people. That's already a nugget, and we haven't even started the show yet. So we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and just do a little of adjustment on our background right quick so the audience can get more of a sense and the feel. Joining in on the Purple Rain's DBDS screen, you know, and listen, man. But listen, you ready to bring our guests into the studio?
Let's bring them on in. Let's bring them in.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, class in session. So our first guest coming into the DBDS Live studio is a sister who understands the concept of positive affirmations. And listen, I'm very excited and thrilled to have her back on the show. I want to welcome back our great sister, author, Ernetta, to DBDS Live.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, sis.
Oh,
Hey.
my goodness. Hello, my sister. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I am so happy to be back here. Oh my goodness, with each and every one of you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That energy, I feel it. So contagious. So listen, you're on a premiere show. Very grateful to have you on. Just tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
Yes. Well, my name is Ernetta Caldwell. I am an author, speaker, coach, and I have a business that's called Beauty for Ashes Transformations, where I teach women to rediscover themselves after divorce or heartbreak by implementing self-love, healing, and transformation, and to live out their best lives, because I myself went through a divorce. I did not feel like I was enough and wanted to give up on life, but God never gave up on me, and I never stopped believing that I was going to be able to find love again. And so I'm here to share my story with each and every one of you.
All right. Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. And we appreciate you back on the show. Now, I know for the audience, I would like for you to share the family prayer affirmation cards. You got to share that, because this can actually be a nice little nugget that people can put and apply to their daily life. So tell the people where they can get those family prayer affirmations.
Yes, absolutely. I believe in the power of prayer as well as affirming yourself. It's what you say over yourself, what you speak in your life. That's what's going to manifest. So for all of you, you can go to my website to get your free prayer affirmation cards, and that's www.ernettacaldwell.com.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. And by the way, my peoples, everyone that's watching, that little ticker at the bottom, that's where you can go, www.ernettacaldwell.com. So make sure, please support my sister. Great to have you back on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me, Mel.
Absolutely. And next, coming back into the DBDS Live studio is a brother who is a motivational speaker. He's been consistently dropping nuggets in the DBDS group, which everyone should join. I'm excited to have him back on because not only I consider him a friend, but also he's family. You know, maybe he may be my long lost brother from Georgetown, South Carolina. I don't know. But I want to welcome back my brother, Lamar, to DBDS Live.
Oh, thank you. What's going on, world?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, my brother? Great to
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. What's going on? I'm so happy to be here. Like, this one is dope because I'm at the premiere. Yeah, this is the best one right here.
I love it, man. Yes, we've been hyped up this whole week. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you're on the show today.
I'm an educational leader, author. I'm releasing my first children's book this year called Oliver's First Day. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm a husband, a father. I am a motivator. I believe that relationships and marriage still matter. I've been married for 15 years this year. You know, so this year is gonna make 15 years with the same woman, same conversations, same goals. Everything is just exactly how we want our path with each other to go. So I'm super excited about August and spending 15 years with this one woman I knew from day one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
Awesome.
Hey, man. That's why I like to hear, my brother. And this is why I admire you so much, man. You're just one of those brothers that have, you practice what you preach. And the simple fact that you are in that covenant with your wife and you have that foundation with God and everything makes me respect you even more, man. So I'm grateful to have you back on the show, especially the premiere, man.
Thank you.
Real quick, Mel. Let me get this topic. So he said something. So, I'm gonna start trouble. So he said something.
Here we go.
He said he knew day one.
Day one.
Mel, you knew day one.
Mm-hmm.
I knew my day one. Ladies, what I'm trying to tell you, there are men that know day one. And it ain't love bombing. It ain't gaslighting. It ain't foolishness. There's some of us just know. And the reason why we know, we're husbands. We're not boyfriends. And we understand the weight of the wedding band that a husband wears. Let's roll, Mel. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Here we go. There we go.
All right, man. So before we even get started, man, let me just give a shout out to the people that are tuning in. Shout out to my brother Phil Blunt, man. I see you, man. Keep that great music coming, brother. Keep that great music. Shout out to Cuddy. Shout out to Emily, Sharana, George. Shout out to my DBDS sister Cameron. Thank you, my sister. Can't wait till I host the show with you. Shout out to Netta, Will Young, my brother Will Young. Salute. Shout out to Felicia, Carmen. If I haven't mentioned your name, I'll do so throughout the show. So listen, my people, before we drop some nuggets, right? I just want to point out that there's a false negative narrative related to marriage, which is not the case because there's nothing wrong with the institution of marriage. It's actually who you decide to marry, because the reality is marriage is actually a blessing. So let me share with you this video to those who still believe in love and loyalty, and then we will go ahead and pivot to our first subtopic. Check this out.
I am with my favorite person, the man that has captured my heart, the man that has captured my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul, my everything. And the reason why I've been away for so long is because of him. And today I want to introduce you to my husband. Yes, the love of my life. Baby, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the courage.
Wait, I've never met anyone
Like
as
this.
compatible as I am. It's like looking in a mirror, a female version of myself.
Yeah.
God, what are you saying? We had the same upbringing. I just couldn't comprehend. We finished each other's sentences.
Literally.
And I'm like, God, what is happening? if she is the bone of your bone, then she will be just as you are. So I'm like, oh, hold on a second. What are you saying? If she is the bone of your bone, then she will be just, that means that she will have attributes of you.
Wow. What an amazing video and testimony towards the love they have for each other. So salute to that beautiful couple. And I think this is the perfect segue for our first subtopic related to the perks of marriage. And the first one that we're going to touch on is emotional and mental security. It's one of the great benefits when it comes to being blessed with your wife, your husband, the right person that's in your life. And one thing I noticed about that video, and maybe the panelists can chime in, but their values are in line with each other. And the wife, you even heard the wife mentioning, I support them. As you can tell how much they respect each other, how compatible they are. They have that built-in emotional and mental security within their relationship. Because one of the false narratives from those who, married the wrong person, which we're going to rebuttal today, they sometimes have this Disney syndrome, thinking that there's no healthy conflict, or sometimes their values are not in line, or they may have had a bad experience when it came to a relationship. And they think that marriage is a lockdown phase, which really marriage, you're actually free, right? So this emotional and mental security allows you to express yourself, and also without any constant reassurance from your significant other, right? That's how deep and embedded it should be. So Arnetta, first, what are your thoughts on that beautiful video, and what would you describe as emotional and mental security?
Yes, I will have to say with the video, it just showed their intimacy amongst each other as well as their emotional bond that they shared. When he said, bone of my bone, it's that he identified that she is him and he is her, and they become one. It's not a separate thing, that they're living their life to love each other. And what I got the sense of, it wasn't just about, oh, he's handsome and she's beautiful. It went deeper than that. And I believe that love and marriage, it goes really deeper than just superficial, because in life and in a marriage, something that you said, Carl, that, the marriage is the starting point. But if you look at as well, the marriage is a journey. You are forever evolving as individuals, but yet coming together to love each other is what it's all about. And just having that mental security, that bond, that intimacy, it is the best thing that you could ever have. I believe that God created us to be together, and we are better together.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man, there you go. I love that. Very well said, my sister. I mean, I totally agree with you, Ornetta, because as you mentioned in your book, A Journey to a Healed Heart, I mean, you mentioned that God has a plan even when things don't make sense. That stuck with me reading your book. And within this context, when you're blessed with your amazing husband or your amazing wife, or your natural counterpart, and only the communication aspect only improves, which of course increases that emotional and mental security, which a lot of married couples that I'm surrounded with have that based off of what you have shared, as well as what that video has portrayed of a healthy marriage. So I totally agree with you. I mean, that conflict resolution is in your back pocket when you have great communication skills to open up more. And I believe that's just a sign of dedication. That's the natural beauty of a blessed union. So thank you for sharing. Lamar, I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on how it feels to have like emotional and mental security within your marriage. And what are your thoughts on that video as well?
The the video was beautiful. And the
Yes.
reason why I love it so much, because she says something that a lot of people they probably missed it. That she said, that's my husband. So that
Wow.
means she still feels that same way to this day. They didn't just meet and say, hey, tomorrow we're gonna get married. No, so there was a process. So she felt this way all the way up to her changing her name, the title, saying, that's my husband. I love him. Like, there's so much, everything that I wanted, I needed,
Mm-hmm.
God brought it to me. You know, this man fulfills everything. He speaks my love languages, you know, because they change. And he's the one person I know that can adjust. And I forever will love him, pour into him, let him know that he's not doing this alone. He's not doing this alone. He has a team. He has a coach. I'm his coach. I'm his player. I'm his assistant coach. I'm his injury coach. I am with him. And that's why emotional, you know, security is so important in a marriage, because you want to feel that. It's a need. And when you have that need and you feel that need being to you, you want to give that back to that person. You know, my wife and I, she had to take the boy out of me because I just was being a boy in a man's body. I was being a boy in a man's body. And she had to show me that we are married. We're doing life together. We're raising kids together. We're doing this together. I need you to be on board. And that shifted my mindset that I should be able to come to my wife when something's hurting me, when something's stressing me. And how come? And she tells me, she don't say man up. She tells me, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? Wow. Not the situation, you. And she puts me in a space where I feel comfortable. I feel safe. You know, a couple weeks ago, I just hugged her and I started crying. It was just I just needed to cry. Wow. I needed her to understand that I am so blessed to have someone in my life that really wants to be with me just for me. I don't have to be anybody else. Yeah. So seeing that video, you could tell how pure her heart is and how her husband, it's real. And I truly bless them. I truly hope the best as long as they live, that they continue to pour into each other, and that whatever they're pouring into with each other, it pours into someone else's marriage or relationship, because our marriage, our relationships is being watched.
Yeah,
it's being watched. Our kids are watching it. Our friends is watching it. Our families are watching it. Our parents is watching it.
Right.
And if we doing marriage right, they gonna want to do marriage right. We doing marriage right, our kids gonna know how to date. Our kids gonna know how to talk to a person. Our kids gonna know how to react on Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, birthday. Why? So I love loving on my wife. I love loving on my wife.
So what if somebody calls you a simp? Sorry to interject. So what if somebody calling you a simp that you love rubbing on your wife? And I'll ask that about Carl too. But go ahead.
And I'm okay with that.
Oh,
I'm the biggest simp.
Oh,
because I learned something. When I'm on one accord with my wife, God is happy with me. There we go.
Woo. There we go, man. I love that. You know, I can relate to you, my brother, because, you know, within my marriage, you know, I have a sense that I will say that April understands and accepts all of me, my authentic self. That's why I said, like, marriage is the complete opposite of lockdown. You can be your authentic self, you know, and because of this, it makes me feel even more confident to open up to her and become more vulnerable, that I could, I share everything, the whole world with her. Right. So thank you, man. Well said, my brother. Before I come to you, Carl, a special shout out to my sister, Faye. Shout out to Faye. Thank you for coming into the DBDS live studio. But Carl, Arnetta and Lamar are providing some great examples of emotional and mental security. These two elements are a part of a beautiful union when you're married to the right person. So what are some of your gems you would like to add to this topic? And do you think somebody may call you a simp if you're loving on your wife the right, a lot of people got these negative feedbacks about that, man?
So really I want to touch on the video real quick. Like he
Okay.
said, bone with my bone. When we really truly understand the dynamics of marriage, we understand that we are to become one
Okay.
with one another. It's two becoming one, and so I always tell people, when you're arguing with your spouse, you are arguing with yourself. When you are
Ooh.
angry at your spouse, you are angry with yourself. If you're truly one. If you're not truly one, you're not in a marriage. You're in a union somewhere. You're not in a marriage. So when you're
Gotcha.
dividing and separating finances, and you're dividing and separating bedrooms, when you're dividing and separating, where you guys eat and what you're doing, you're giving the enemy play to separate the two that became one in that moment. So when he's saying that, he's like, she is mine. She's my missing rib. She's the rib that I needed to come back and protect my heart and help me breathe properly. That's what he's saying when he's talking about that. So, and I know they'll be like, oh, you guys sound like Simpson. This, that.
You're going to hear that. Yeah.
So the real symptonomous primes
Symptonomous
are the ones that are sending money to women that they have no opportunity with. Those are the ones that are going above and beyond, trying to score. Those are the ones that are on every woman's post talking about, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful, hey, beautiful. Nah, that's those are the symptonomous primes. Those are the ones out there like that have issues. But like I said again, loving on your woman correctly is not being a simp. It's what you're commanded to do, because the word says for us to love our wives like Christ loves the church. So even when our wives are wrong, even when our wives are in a bad position as a husband, when you understand Christ-like weight in your marriage, you understand that you still have to love her. You still have to support her. You still have to care for her. You still have to pray for her. You still have to hold her. You still have to provide for her. You still have to protect for her. That's what comes with that role. And most do not understand that. Now, ladies, that does not mean that you take advantage of that situation, because there is a place that you will find yourself in called karma if you continue to do that. And you may find yourself on the other side of the door and not able to get back in the house of the kingdom. So that is something to definitely take in account. And as far as the mental and emotional security, Mark said something where he was able to go to his wife and cry. Ladies, let me tell you something. When a man is willing to be vulnerable enough that he can cry in front of you, take that for the reward that it is.
Facts.
That is not a sign of weakness. That means that man knows that you got his heart in your hands, and you will not destroy it. You will not squish his heart, because he's showing that moment of vulnerability, not weakness, vulnerability.
It's a difference.
Because why would I want to be with a woman that I can't come home from the wars that I got to battle all day out in the world, and can't just lay my head in her lap, not say a word, and cry? And she speaks life over me, and she prays over me, and she tells me, you know what? I know you got this. I know you can handle this. That's why I married you, because of who you are. You having this moment, I got you right now. I got your back. But tomorrow, we're going to get up and do this together. I got you, baby. So there's a difference when you got a man that's doing that. Instead of saying, oh my God, why are you crying? You're such a weakling. Men are not supposed to show emotion. And any man, I'm going to say it, just watching and wants to jump in and say, oh, that's a sign of weakness, or you ain't no real man, or this and this. Yeah. Contact me for therapy. I'll help you out. I'll have you in tears by the time you get out of therapy. Trust me. I'm just keeping it 100%. Because if you bottle all of that up, you are a bomb waiting to explode at some time. So many people have not dealt with their inner child situations. They have not dealt with the toxic childhood traumas they've had, whether from their mother, their father, whatever it is. And you're thinking because you're not supposed to cry, that makes you a man. No, that makes you less of a man. A man willing to show his vulnerability to his woman is more of a man than any other man could be. So having that emotional security and the mental capacity to know that I can trust her and that she can trust me. And see, it's the same thing for a woman. When she's able to speak that life over him, it's because she trusts him. It's because he's done what he's supposed to do. He's aligning with the words that he said. He's keeping the promises that he made to her. So emotionally, mentally, it's she's pouring back into him. So when you're pouring into each other back and forth, neither one ever goes dry. So you're watering your own garden. You're watering your own plants. You're fertilizing your own fruit. You're building your own harvest right around your house instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing across the street. And so as long as you pour back into one another, you got nothing else to worry about.
Damn. All right, man. Let again a clap. Yeah, look. I mean, can we pass the plate around? I mean, this is Sunday. Can I get an amen? Again. All right, that's enough. Listen, Carl, you just that was amazing, man. I mean, a lot of things that you said is the truth, man. Because listen, when I'm coming home and the world is draining my backpack, my wife, she's charging it, man. She's charging it by being supportive. She's charging it by providing me with that peace and that mental and emotional security. And when my battery pack is charged back up and back out in the world, enough to phase me, man. So I feel you when you said that water pours into each other because you are harvesting that. You just painted that beautifully, man. I greatly appreciate it. But listen, comments are flowing. Comments are flowing in. Shout out to everyone that's watching DBDS Live, the premiere show. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the first comment to get the audience squared away. Wow, it's a lot of comments, man. We won't get to all of them, so go to the first one.
When you know, that's one of our Facebook users.
Okay. Yeah, that was Sister Cameron. Absolutely.
Cameron.
Day one.
Oh, yeah,
like
we're talking about the marriage. Oh, yeah, talking about what a man knows. Yep.
Yeah, we're not going to know 10 years from now. No. We're going to know from day one. Next one.
We are better together. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great topic, DBDS. We have been married for 46 years. Amen. My loving relationship with my wife is the most important and best part of my life. In 46 years, you experience most of the challenges life throws at us. To me, honesty, mutual trust, communication, emotional, mental security, as well as planning for tomorrow and the near future has made our relationship something I wish every couple could experience.
Wow.
Blessing to you guys. Absolutely.
Blessing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Besides emotional and mental security, I believe the key is maturity and stop any unnecessary drama. Accept, learn, evolve. Absolutely. Think what's good for both of you, not just yourself. Yes, selflessness versus selfishness. Yeah. Lastly, happiness is an inside job. It's not your partner's job to feel your happiness. Your partner or spouse is just a bonus. Be grateful for the love.
Okay, man. Yeah. Okay, audience. All right.
I love this vulnerability from the men.
Okay, appreciate that's from Faye. Okay, appreciate that.
Thank you. After 10 years of married life, the most important key I feel to a happy marriage is communication. It means sharing everything from thoughts, feelings, expectations. Without good communication, there'll be no emotional or mental security. For that, sometimes we play couple question games like Laffy. Laffy. Okay.
What's that? What is that?
Laffy. I have to look it up now. Yeah. In this game, we have to guess what our partner expects. With small efforts, we are constantly improving our relationship. Okay, we have to dig into that one. Yeah, we got to dig into that one. I mean,
tell me, you have to share your name, DBDS Anonymous poster. Tell me about this game off.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
teaching me something. Okay,
this is so good. Taking mental notes for my future husband that God sends. He's on his way.
Wow. Okay.
Position yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. Position yourself. He will find you.
There you go.
You can't be in the house. Person. Can't be in the house all the time unless you're gonna marry a robber. That's it. So, or the Amazon guy. Faith, Andy. Yes, God in God's timing. Amen.
All right. Amen. Man, great comments, man. So listen, we want you to keep those comments going. We appreciate everyone that's joining in on this emotional mental security topic that we are touching on today. But listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break because there's still 2 other topics we're going to try to squeeze in. So don't you go anywhere. This is DBDS Live. We'll be right back.
I think one of the biggest areas and continue to talk about it because it's not addressed enough. Is self-awareness. Until you can be self-aware, you have no idea what your worth is. So you can define your worth whatever you want it to be, but you have no awareness of who you are.
Mindset that school is a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just take the home off the table right now.
Right.
If you don't feel safe in your home,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to another place that you don't feel safe at.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a child, not an adult, you're using coping skills, which Eric mentioned, but how appropriate are those coping skills?
People are hemorrhaging. You are living off your sleep, and you're not living off.
Jamel Lawrence, author, relationship advisor.
One of the DBDS Facebook group.
Of family, the gift of love, the gift of family.
I don't think that's the key.
Welcome back, my people. Welcome back to DBDS Live. I am here with my DBDS sister, Ornetta, my DBDS brother, Lamar, and my DBDS brother, Carl, the accountability coach. And we've been talking about the perks of marriage. And before we touch on our second subtopic, I just want to pull up a comment from our sister, Cameron.
Thank you to the 46-year married man for chiming in. We need more examples of this in our community. These examples need to be louder than the dysfunctional ones that go viral. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Appreciate him. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to keep this train going. So the second topic that we're going to touch on, which is a great perk with a blessed union, is building a legacy with your ace. Oh, I'm going to love this one, man. Ready for some nuggets here. So let me go ahead and pull up the ticker on this one. So I just believe, like, and I'm going to bring this up because I know a lot of people was watching the show back in the day, but one of my favorite shows was, and still is, the Game of Thrones. Why? Because the central theme throughout that show is the importance of keeping your family legacy. And when I think about that, to me, a family legacy is more than just leaving money behind for future generations or leaving a collection of photos. But for me, like, building a legacy with your ace means family unity. I mean, think about Game of Thrones, the Targaryens and, Ned Starks, the Starks, it's building that unity. And when you know where you come from and have a shared sense of history, I believe it can be easier to connect with other family members. And furthermore, by keeping your family legacy alive, can also, I'm telling you, instill pride in family members when you know your ancestor story and your family's accomplishments. I mean, years from now, 40 or 50 years from now, our children's, they're going to see the accomplishments that DBDS did, the legacy we created, right? So I know from our daughters to our future granddaughters and so forth, and sons and so forth, they will feel a sense of belonging, knowing where they came from and to continue certain traditions such as that spiritual legacy for future generations. So Lamar, share with the DBDS family on how great it is to build a legacy with your ace or with your significant other.
I had it wrong when I first got married and I started a family. I had it wrong. I thought leaving a legacy was leaving money. Or you buy a house and you're like, oh, well, I'm buying a house just for my kids, so they can have a place to live. And as I got older and I realized that money is not going to save my marriage. Money is not going to save my marriage. I can put money in someone's hand and they can give me the information I need to be a better husband, for her to be a better wife. But if we don't do the work, if we don't build the foundation on happiness, foundation on problems, like, we have to build that foundation when problems come around. How are we dealing with those? We're happy, things are moving good. so that foundation, everything has a foundation. I had it so confused because I said, I'm, I'm leaving all this money. I'm leaving life insurance. I'm leaving this. And I remember having that conversation with my wife, and she said, these kids don't care about how hard you work. I don't care how hard you work. I'm not, when you leave this earth, and pray you never leave this earth, I want to remember you by the character you are. I want you to leave this earth knowing that your kids will never speak bad about you. That you leave your mark with the kids, with me. I have your last name. I took your last name. Your last name is going to live on because now we got kids that took your last name. So I don't care how much money you put aside for life insurance or if you hit the lotto. It's what are you leaving with us? What are you leaving on my heart, on my mind, on the kids' mind? That's the legacy there. That mark. When your kids go to sleep and they still want you to tuck them in at 13. I ain't gonna call my son out, but I'm 13 because to him, he sees something I don't. A couple years ago, I seen leave all this money. And then I had to realize, well, you know what, Carl, if I leave all this money, that's great. They can spend it. But if I leave my communication, my conversations, the little things, that they don't care how hard I work. They know daddy took us there. Daddy did this. My husband did this. My husband, he always poured into me. That's my legacy. That's the legacy my wife had to teach me. Money's nothing. It's what we're leaving with each other. When we walk out this door, I'm not walking out mad. We're going to fix this because I can't trust the car or anybody else in the street. But I know that I could trust you, so let's fix this. And that's what built my legacy with her. So I make sure I watch my tone. I watch myself because I want to leave a legacy every day now. Not just, when I get older. Every day, I want to leave my mark with my wife and kids.
Wow. Okay, man. Whew. Telling you. Nuggets after nuggets. I love everything you stated, man. And just going back to that Game of Thrones reference, I remember one episode where it was called The Battle of the Bastards, Jon Snow and the other dude, right? At the end, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but if you haven't watched the show, it's such an amazing, well-written show, except the last season. But anyway, with that being said, I remember the part at the end where the sister of Jon Snow stated that, listen, I'm going to wipe your name and no one will remember you anymore. And she knew how valuable his name, his legacy was. If wipe out his lineage, his name, he has nothing. She didn't talk about the money, anything. She said, I'm going to wipe out your name, your legacy. So I was just thinking about what you just stated because that is so true, man. I mean, it's much more valuable that, man. So thank you for sharing. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that. Okay, well, next, because building a legacy with your ace is priceless. But Ornetta, what are some other important aspects related to building a legacy with your ace?
Yes, I would definitely have to say building a legacy with your ace is all about what you want to leave behind. Like, what do you want, not just your kids, but your grandkids, your great grands, and your legacies to come to know. And for me, like I said earlier, I went through a devastation of a divorce. I did not think that I was enough. I wanted to give up on life. But I was willing to take the risk to love again and open up my heart to love and to be loved. And I believe that once I knew who I was and that I was enough, that true love found me. Once again, I'm now remarried to my wonderful husband, and I think the legacy that we are building together is our faith, and God is our foundation, in teaching our kids that in life, you're going to go through challenges. The one thing about a marriage is going to be ebbs and flows. It's going to be times
Right.
where you have to forgive your spouse for things that they may have done. You know, you're growing together, you're evolving together, but yet you have to understand and know the commitment of why you chose that person for a man, because it says, and let's go in Proverbs 18:22, it says, he who
Let's go.
finds
Let's
a
go.
wife finds a good thing. And so if a woman understands to know that she is a good thing in her worth, that this marriage that they're building, the legacy, it's worth the fight for, because in a marriage there's sacrifices that you have to make. You have to continue to persevere in a marriage. You can't give up when it gets hard. And leaving that legacy behind for people to understand, it's not just about the beautiful dress and walking down the aisle. It's not about that. It's
Right.
about the legacy that you're building together, day by day, step by step, and growing to become one, because you are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, man, the ushers, they running out. You know, can you pass the plate again? Okay. Okay. Appreciate you sharing that, Anetta. Very well said. I mean, everything that you mentioned in the Blessed Union is related to building a legacy. Totally agree with you, Anetta. In fact, to those who are watching, I'm going to go ahead and put on my college hat, because there are 3 different forms of legacy that you can build with your ACE. You have your number one, your emotional legacy. So your children can sense security and stability in a nurturing environment of safety and love. And I believe that is the complete opposite to those who have this way of thinking that, oh, I just put a roof over my kid's head, or I just feed them is enough just to get them ahead of life. But that's not the case. And one of the great perks of a healthy marriage is where both parents go beyond those mandatory requirements and they show affection and compassion. It's not just about, I put a roof over your head and I'm feeding you. That's not, it's more than that, right? Number 2, your social legacy, in which your children need to gain the insights and social skills necessary to cultivate a healthy and stable relationship. So if you want your kids to have these important elements within them, it's very important to lead by example on how you treat your husband and how you treat your wife in a respectful manner. And lastly, you have your spiritual legacy, which applies to spiritual matters. So if you're the type of person, which we all are, we believe in God, and you instill these morals and values, that could be passed along to your kids and then their kids and so forth for the next generation to come. But Carl, what would you like to add to this topic of building a legacy with your ACE, and how important that is when it comes to relationships? I mean, I think it's an amazing perk in marriage.
It is. In our next touched on scripture, where a man that finds wife finds a good thing. But if you read further, it says he obtains the favor of the Lord. That's the very next scripture, that passage. And so imagine that you're both, he's finding, she's a good thing. And now because he finds her, doesn't mean he's chasing, running around looking for it. No, because God presented Eve to Adam. I'm gonna let some of y'all digest on that. And Ruth positioned herself to be seen by Boaz, but I'm not gonna preach tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna close. No, but when you think about that in the totality of it, that's 2 people building something. So you've got goodness and favor.
Okay.
Together. She's good, he's attaining favor. So that favor is not just for them. That goodness is not just for them. That's for your children and your children's children. There's this prayer, and everybody talks about the Abraham blessing and how Abraham's descendants were blessed and blessed and blessed and continue to go down multitude of generations. And that's what you want to leave your children. I know everybody gets caught up in this material thing in marriage. This is why marriages are dissolving, because I always ask this question, and you're building something with your ACE, you're building this legacy, but what part of materialism is going to sustain your marriage? How much materialism does it take? When you see people who are millionaires and billionaires divorcing, when you see people with wealth divorcing because they can't build it, and then where's their legacy? It's gone because of materialism. They're not looking at the right thing. See, the harvest is your heart. You should be wanting to leave a heart legacy for your children and your children's children. They should be understanding what character looks like, what values look like, what morals look like, what traditions are you leaving for your children? Are you having Sunday dinners? I remember, the Sunday dinners going to my grandparents' house. Are we doing that in Sunday dinners with my parents? Are you leaving those types of traditions where you can have conversations and fun times? Are you leaving that? Are you leaving monetary stress as your legacy? Because see, everybody's going to be wanting to fight over the money. Everybody, I have preached enough funerals and been in enough will readings to see the fight over the money, to see the fight over the property. See, that means nothing. It's nice. It's nice to leave. But see, if they don't have character and moral and values, they're going to fight. If they have character, moral, and values, they're not going to fight. They're going to understand, hey, you know what? This sibling's not doing as well as us. Let's give him a little bit more. It's just like the talents. You give 3 talents here, 2 talents here for your talent. But they may say, hey, this one needs 4 talents. Because he's struggling, so we can get him caught up with us. And that's what a legacy looks like. That's what you want. What are you imparting? Are your children willing to put a portrait of you up over the mantle because of what you did for their heart? Or do they want to put a portrait of you in the garage because of the financial stress you left them under?
Oof. Something to really think about, man. I see you shaking your head, Lamar. You want to say something, brother?
You got to drop a bomb. You got to get all I can hear is, if you watching this, you listening to this, and you thinking about your marriage or your relationship, it's okay. It's not taboo to say, I need a coach. He right there. It says, call the coach. You need a coach.
Appreciate it, brother.
There you go, man. I mean, listen, you're not lying. I mean, honestly, nothing against my single people out there, but personally, just now being on the other side as a married man, there is nothing out there. I'm sorry. I have to say this. Like, there are good men and good women out there, but you have to really prepare and position yourself to attract that man or woman that you want in your life, But if you're the type of person, like Carl said, you thirsting, you're going through that rack, just trying to pick up anything, then you're not vetting properly at all. But trust me, when you find that right person, marriage is such a beautiful thing. I'm telling you, it's so amazing. So amazing. But Carl, man, very valid points that you stated. We're going to go ahead and touch on a couple of topics right quick. I mean, topics, I said comments. My goodness. You dropped that bomb so much that you got my head spinning, man. So, the first comment that we're going to touch on, here we go.
I absolutely love today's topic, and the idea of leaving this kind of legacy in which you all describe is what I'm doing for my kids today. It is the highest desire to love and serve in this way, ultimately enriching the legacy we leave our kids and generations to come. Many continued blessings to the DBDS family. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate you. Next one right here.
Jeremiah Thomas. She said, that's good.
Shout out to Jemiah. We appreciate you, my sister. Thank you for joining the conversation. And the last comment real quick.
Importance of giving grace. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So listen, we're going to take one last commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to squeeze in the last topic. We are going a little bit over time, but why not? This is the season premiere. You know, Lamar Ernetta was on that red DBDS red carpet, Carl. So we're just going to keep it going with the very last topic. And when we come back, we'll take it right there. We are talking about the perk of marriage. This is DBDS Live. Sit tight.
I think what people are having
my brother, Carl the coach, contributed a chapter to an anthology. I got it in the mail this morning, so it means it probably delivered yesterday, but I saw it today. Look, I already done read this much. Okay, don't judge me. All right, some of y'all get distracted by foolishness. At least I'm reading. Okay, look, this for my ladies who are dating with purpose, for you who are working on yourself and you looking for a man who's working on himself, this your cheat code. This your book right here. You need this book right here. When I tell you they giving us all the goods, they spilling all the tea in this book. They telling us how to love them, how to respect them, how to be their peace, how to be their safe space.
Okay, welcome back, my DBDS family. I'm here with my DBDS sister Ernetta, my DBDS brother Lamar, and Carl, the accountability coach, and we are talking about the perks of marriage. And right now, we're going to just go into our love. Can't get it together, Mel. We're going to go into our last subtopic, and that is title. And listen, this is a really great one because there's no comparison. There's nothing like it, and that's what it is. There's nothing like it, so we're going to go ahead and dive deep into this one, man. So I think this is true of so many different levels, and I just think when you have someone, as I stated earlier, that love you for your authentic self, not your representative at all, it only provides, in my opinion, a deeper connection, because the reality is when you're in a healthy marriage, you're actually free. You're not locked down. And just to expand on that furthermore, when you want with someone that has the free will to want to be around you, the free will to want to be loyal to you, the free will to want to support you, and one who appreciates you, and one who does not mind going to the Cheesecake Factory because she enjoys or he enjoys your company. I mean, that is such an amazing feeling. And I don't mean to sound preachy, but I believe the highest perk when it comes to marriage is the fact that you're in a three-way covenant between yourself, your wife or your husband, and God. And I feel like this further illustrates my point that marriage is the commitment above commitments. So, Ernetta, just please share with the DBDS family the great relationship you have with your husband, and what was some pivotal moments that you may think of that was like, wow, man, there's nothing like this.
Yeah, so let me shout out my wonderful husband, Anthony. I just love you with all my heart. You are my AKA my yes, I believe what Carl said. I was in position to be found because yes, my husband found me, and I do have a brand. It's called Dating God Until Mr. Right Comes. So Mel, I'll give one of your viewers a free t-shirt. So you let me know. I'll give you a t-shirt. But the key with that was all about me being in position to, number one, put God first, and number two, to find that self-love. Because sometimes we're looking for other people to love us and we don't love ourselves. And when I found that love within me, I became healed and whole. I attracted a healed and whole man. It's not saying that we're perfect people, but when we do life together, there's nothing like being in this marriage. My husband, when I say he promotes me, he is my cheerleader. He's on the background. He don't like to be in the forefront, but he is there with anything I do, whether it's to my acting, my, writing books, anything I do, he is in the background pushing me. And I always say that a man should be there to push you to your purpose, not pull you from it. So doing life with him. I mean, I wouldn't have it no other way, but just being in that position and loving myself, I was able to attract the love of my life.
Love it. Love it. I love that. Shout out to your husband as well. You know, we have to persuade him to come on the show. We just have to. Got to get him up here. We need some new blood up here to share with Lamar, Carl, Eric, Floyd, all of us. But you know, very well said, Arnetta, because I have to say what you described speaks volumes within your relationship. And I truly believe in my heart that deflects the naysayers out there who have this notion that marriage is a death sentence, which in reality, as you describe it feeds your spirit. It gives you life, right? But most importantly, when you become, I feel like, a husband or a wife, it does make you more responsible and accountable towards your significant other. But Lamar, you know, what is it like being married to the love of your life, and any pivotal moments you would like to share with the audience?
I would say God was setting me up with her, because when I met my wife, the crazy thing is, let me tell you how funny God is. I met my wife when I was dating someone else. Hey, how you doing? Cool. I thought, hey, I'm with this girl. I'm cool. You know, and she's just another person I knew in the world. A year later, I broke up with the girl. I stayed to myself. I did what I needed to do for myself. A year later, I run into her, got to talking, kept building, never met each other. Just kept conversating. Met her. That same year, we moved in together. That following year, we got married. So he showed me my wife a year before I actually got married. So I shook my wife's hand in 2007. I met her in 2008. God married us in 2009.
Wow.
And I said, God, I tell God every day, you play too much. You play too much. But you know, the thing is, and I'm not gonna say it's always beautiful, but God always gives me a reminder how beautiful it is and how happy He is when I'm doing everything He told me to do for her. He wants me to serve her. He wants me to put my wedding picture on my nightstand. So every morning when I wake up and I put my feet on the floor and I let the devil know that I'm up, the first person I see is not my phone. It's my wife. And it gives me the reminder that if I'm out of line, God's like, remember what I did for you. Remember, when you don't want to be in a positive space with her, just think about that moment when you were married. You said, I do. I want to spend the rest of my life. And that's the most beautiful thing in the world. When I look at my wife and she gave me 3 beautiful kids. And sometimes I do the craziest things, but it's nothing like, I don't have to talk to this girl and that girl. It's one person. Me and no, listen, you ain't got to be this. I don't want I am Lamar Wilson. I want Lamar Wilson. Yeah, who are you today? Am I getting a motivation? I don't need all that. I need you to get the laundry. And that's the beautiful thing, where I'm sharing life with one person. I'm not texting all these people. I'm not hanging out with all these people. I'm not doing that. I am doing life with one person. And God is saying, this is the person I gave. Don't mess this up. This, I'm telling you, I'm giving you one person to do life with. And as long as you do life with this person, I promise you're always going to be in my favor. You don't have to worry about your back. I got your back. She got your front.
Wow.
She got your front. I will always have your back, but she got your front. And I never played with it. 15 plus years, I never played with it. I'm good. I'm smiling. Even when she tell me to take out the garbage at 12:09 and it's cold. And I tell her, you done died 25 times in my head. And God said, get your butt up and take that garbage out.
Love it, brother. Love it. Listen, I'm going to piggyback before I go to Carl. I'm going to piggyback to you, Lamar, then I'll piggyback to you, Arnetta. Just if first you, Lamar, if you can, and you don't have to, but do you want to share like a pivotal, I won't say like a pivotal moment, but like one of the great experiences. We all know that marriage has its peaks and valleys, but what are some of the amazing moments that you share with your wife, whether she threw the cake in your face or whatever like that, or you guys playing pillow fight or whatever? What's some of those moments you share with your best friend, your significant other?
We have this thing we call us time. And we created this through COVID. And it's been so, I look forward to it. Like I can't wait to change the calendar. But this thing we have is where we do pillow talk. We lay in the bed, look at the ceiling. We have these conversations, what's going on, how we feel. And then we create date night. We come up with things, whether we're reading a marriage devotion or a blog or something about marriage. And then we talk to each other. What's your thoughts on that? We don't bring none of the negative. We don't want to read none negative. Or we go on YouTube. And this is beautiful where we go on YouTube and we find marriage conferences. We turn the TV off. And we're just watching it. We're watching how can we better our marriage. And that has changed the way we talk to each other, the way we look at each other, the way we respect each other. Like we feel like we are still newlyweds.
Wow.
We're telling ourselves we're still newlyweds. We're still just, oh my God, why are you always talking about your wife? I'm wearing my wife's shirt. This is my wife. This right here, this my wife. I'm walking in Target, public store. I'm walking around with my wife. So when I tell you I love this woman, I have a crush to this day with this woman. I it's not a joke. I'm not joking when it comes to my wife. Like I wear this and women see me and they're like, did she die? Why you got did she? No, that's my wife. Why you got her on your shirt? It's my wife. This is the reason why I'm the man I am today. Because she saw the boy in me, but she also saw the potential. And when I didn't have money and I was paying for college and I was helping my mom pay the rent and I only had $25 after my check was gone, she was the one paying for dates, paying for little vacations, paying for me to have money in my pocket, putting money in my pocket. Sorry. She took care of me. And I told her, because you gave me an opportunity, you gave me a chance when I had $25 left out of my check, I'm always going to make sure I repay you. 15 years, I'm still repaying, and I got no problem with it. I still owe you because you could have got up and left. He broke. He only got $25. He can't even pay for a date. So God said, I gave you her. Treat her right. And before I let it go, I tell you this, a little cheat code I do. Every month, I watch my wedding video. It's a little cheat code. I have to remind myself that why I did this, why I put this ring on. I do that. I've been doing that since COVID. I've been doing that every month. It's an alert on my phone. Watch your wedding video, and I cry. I'm gonna stop now because I don't want to cry.
Thank you so much for sharing and being vulnerable. Appreciate that. I just want the audience to see how precious it is. As I stated, no marriage is perfect, but the peaks and valleys and everything, I just want to put it out there that is so rewarding, right? Arnetta, any moments or experience that you would like to share?
Wow, they say, Lamar, you got me. I didn't bring no tissues today. I mean, you got me about to tear up. So beautiful.
Okay.
I would definitely have to say for my husband and I, something that you said, Lamar, that we forever date. Know why you fell in love. And a big thing between me and my husband, we love to laugh. And I say this, no hate to the Cowboys fans out there. He's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Patriots fan. Shout out. I'm originally from Massachusetts. So shout out to Massachusetts and the Patriots.
Yes.
And so we're always at each other, we're watching football and, we keep it fun and we keep it real. And I think that that's what you need in a relationship to have the fun. You think about when you're dating as a child, you do fun things together. Like my husband and I will go play basketball. Like he think he can play, but I can beat him because that's just how we do, keep it just fun and do different things. Think outside of the box in a marriage. And I think that's what helps to keep you together and keep it spontaneously. Do different things for each other. I love to surprise my husband too with different things. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. Thank you for opening up. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. And Carl, man, I mean, I'm getting emotional as well, just sharing these stories with our guests here. It got me thinking back when I had the flu. And here April is taking care of me. She's taking me to the bathroom. She's feeding me. She's handling business because I was out days and weeks out of work during our early stages of our marriage. And that made me appreciate her even more. Like I said, marriage has its peaks and valleys. But I'm like, man, if this was this is why I don't take it for granted. And like Lamar said, God, this don't mess up, so it's just beautiful just hearing both your stories. And Carl, man, what would you like to add to this topic? Like there is nothing like it. Nothing.
It's not. It's beautiful. And this is why I said, going through my divorce, I'm going to get married again because I know what it's like to be married, and I know what it's like to have those beautiful moments.
Gotcha.
But I share, like I said again, Tammy and I, we've been together. Tammy and I've been together now. Let's see, little 4 months. And in month one, and I'm just a big shout out to her. I was working. I ended up dislocating my knee the week of Thanksgiving. We're new. And she didn't want me by myself. She didn't want me sitting out. So she opened her house up to me to stay there. I went with her family with this big leg brace on for Thanksgiving. And to me, that was one of the biggest things anyone has ever done that early in a relationship. I mean, she has such a big heart. And and that's what you look for, I think, with people when they don't understand, having the right person, having a partner that you can rely on and count on. Because she didn't have to do that. I mean, like I said, I could have very well stayed someplace else, but she did that out of the graces of her heart. And, so I tell people, when you're with the right person, it's wonderful. It's fabulous. It's fun. It's enlightening. And again, we're still growing and we're still going down this pathway. I know what the end result's going to be. I'll leave it at that. But it's enjoyable, and I think so many people have had. I would say this: some people have never experienced real love, and I'm not talking the butterflies. I'm not talking the goo goo gaga. They've never experienced the action of love,
right?
And for some people, they've never healed from past trauma. So they don't even know how that looks to them. And so this is why they have this thing up. There's no good men. There's no good women. I'm just going to stay single for the rest of my life. Not realizing that, and I say this, and Tammy is, to me, we are the perfect imperfect people for one another. And when you get to a place of understanding, you're self-aware, you heal, you do these things, you understand that. And that's why I tell people, look for the perfect, imperfect person for you. Because none of us are perfect. None of us are. But when you have that person and you're working together and you're striving, you're having fun, you're doing date nights, you're reminiscing about your wedding, you're doing all these things, they're taking care of you. It's easy to pour back into that other person because you're both doing it. See, when you don't, because see, real love doesn't keep countenance of what you've done more than the other person. It actually says it in the scripture when you read it. So if you're doing from a selfless love position and the other person's doing, neither one of you worrying about who's done what. Neither one of you worrying about who did more. You're enjoying each other. Again, go back to what I said. You're both pouring into each other, so nobody ever goes dry. So you're in this position. You're just having fun. You're enjoying life. And I think the biggest thing today, too, for a lot of couples is they get sidetracked by the material things. They get sidetracked by social media. They get sidetracked trying to keep up with the Joneses. All of those things are what are destroying many marriages because you want to be with somebody else. You don't know what demons those people are dealing with. Why are you inviting those demons in your house wanting to be like somebody else? Be your marriage. Be the Lawrences. Be the Wilsons. Be the Caldwells. Be the future Segrettes. This is what you do. You don't want to be like anybody else unless they have a healthy relationship. But even then, you want to be cautious because you don't know what hell they went through to get to that healthy relationship. So we have to be conscious, develop that fun time, date each other, never stop. And I'm just talking to my business partner about this the other day. It might have been yesterday. Never stop. For men, never stop courting and dating your wife. And for ladies, never stop giving him a reason to not want to court or date you.
Good advice, brother. Good advice. See the panelists shaking their heads on that one, man. Okay. Go ahead, Lamar.
You need a coach. You need a coach. I mean, come on, man. That just spoke so much into me. Thank you.
Wow.
You're welcome, bro.
Appreciate that, man. Listen, we're going to go ahead and take a couple of more comments, and then we're going to shift right to the Jerry Springer moment. All right, so I'm going to go to this one right here first.
Great show, everyone.
We appreciate that. I believe that was Cam. Thank you, Cam. Thank you.
Right. In a world where divorce is so rampant and actually easy, it is so refreshing to see people appreciate the beauty and gift of marriage. It is not something solely based on only love, but it's a commitment you work hard on. Welcome back, DBDS. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
As a single woman, I'm glad such beautiful relationships do exist. Something I always wished for and dreamed about. I hope I get such a partner who loves, understands, and makes this life worthwhile. God, please send me my man.
All right. I mean, Carl always state that you can't just say locked up in the house, say God send a man. You know, you can't do that. You know, you might end up with a robber, or what you said, or the Amazon man.
Amazon milkman, mailman, somebody else's man. But you don't want. So go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot in the lawn care in the lumber section. Go to grocery store after 9 p.m.
Give us some jewels, man.
That's all I'm gonna say. I can give a few more, but that's
Okay. Next comment right here.
I need that shirt. Love the encouragement and constant words of wisdom, especially to position ourselves.
Okay, need that shirt from Arnetta. Okay. We have to find out who that anonymous poster is.
Okay. Yeah, that's my partner right there, Jermaine. Okay, appreciate you, brother. Thank each and every one of you for being inspirational, especially to us not married. Appreciate the life lessons. Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate you. Thank you for watching the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll go ahead and take one last comment.
Yes, 20 plus years over here. Yes, he is. Yep.
Okay.
Doing this thing. Congratulations, brother. Yep.
Congratulations. Okay. So right now, it is about that time for the Jerry Springer moment. So listen, if you enjoyed this show, everything that we discussed today, that can greatly help you, make sure that you share this video with a neighbor, with a loved one. We need each other. And I know we're in a world right now where it's so life. That version of yourself. And trust me, you will attract your natural counterpart. And before I come to my DBDS brother Lamar and my DBDS sister Ernetta, I just want to let you guys know that you can catch DBDS on the Pure Moment Network, which is right now available on the Amazon Fire Stick as well as Roku. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, all of these amazing podcasts. If you missed this episode or if you're working at the gym or whatsoever. And if you are watching on YouTube, just please make sure you hit that subscription button, because that only helps out with the channel. So we greatly appreciate your support. But now it's time to pivot to our Jerry Springer moment, where we share our final thoughts for today's show. And the first one I'm coming to is my great sister, Ernetta. Give the people who's watching your final thoughts for today's show.
Yes, I want to speak to the women out there as well as the men. Maybe you have experienced heartbreak after heartbreak, and you feel as though I will never be married. Maybe I'm not enough. I want to encourage you to stay encouraged, to believe that there is someone out there for you, that there's love after heartbreak. There's love after going through different things in your life scenarios, because even like, Carl was saying, things in our traumas, childhood that maybe we have not healed from. We kind of take that into relationships, but just believe, work on yourself and believe that there is someone that will find you and that will love you, and you will be able to do life together.
Thank you for sharing, my sister. And next, I'm coming to my DBDS brother Lamar. What are your final thoughts for today's show? And thank you for premiering on the red carpet, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Two things for my married people, or you just got married. Remind yourself that your marriage needs to be more expensive than your wedding. Okay. Make your marriage more expensive than your wedding. And if you're single, you're dating, you're about to get into this new world of marriage, make sure you get a coach, get into a community, get around people that value a union, marriage, dating, relationships. Make sure you get around the right people that can help you or hold you accountable for doing the right things in life. Because relationships and marriage still matter, but it's up to you to make it happen.
Love that, man. Thank you for sharing, my brother. Appreciate it. And next, I am coming to my brother, Carl, the accountability coach. What a way to start off 2024, Carl, man. Amazing jewels. Man, what are your final thoughts for today's show?
Definitely appreciate Arnetta and Lamar being on here. Man, the wealth of jewels and knowledge they dropped today was phenomenal. Yeah, this was a bomb starter, I tell you. I'm to those that are single in the dating world, understand there is somebody out there, but you have to be what you want to attract and entertain. You have to be prepared for it. You can't be prepared after the fact. You can't say I'll be masculine after I meet her. You can't say I'll be feminine after I meet him. You can't say I'll do this after. There is no switch. You have to walk as a husband or a wife every day. Your actions, your verbiage, your body language, everything that you do should mimic a husband or mimic a wife. And this is how you find each other out here on this journey. it makes a difference. And again, doesn't mean every person you meet and you date is going to become that person, but you will get better at vetting and understanding that. And just know that, and for those that sit and say, I just don't want to do marriage, yes, there's a lot of negativity out there, but surround yourself with people who believe in that. And for those that are married, if you got people who think cheating is cool, whether it's a man or woman, they think talking about their spouse is cool. If they think, doing things that destroy marriage, why would you be around those people? Eliminate them. Your circle should encompass people who want to be life partners, being married till death, people who want to keep their vows. Stop being around people who don't see the value of marriage. I don't associate with people who say, oh, I'm not going to get married, or marriage sucks. That's fine. We don't talk about relationships. We can talk about finances or something else, but we don't never talk about relationships. So you have to surround yourself, and you have to infuse your brain. I'm going to end with this. If everything you look at is negative and you have a negative view of the opposite sex, you might as well go ahead and get you a pet and go get you a little boarding home somewhere. You will get nobody. It's just that simple. So stop with the negativity. If that's all you're absorbing, all you can post, all you can see, all you send to people, you're destroying yourself, because if you're taking in negative, you cannot attract positive. Positive people will see your negativeness and walk the other direction as fast as they came towards you, maybe even faster. They will sprint away. So if you desire marriage, start acting like you want to be married. Start carrying yourself as a married person. It can't happen the day that you get married. It starts before you get in a relationship. And surround and infuse yourself with positive relationship information, shows, books, all of that stuff. Leave the negativity alone, because if you keep that negativity around, you're going to take it in your marriage and you're going to end up divorced.
Very well said, my brother. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. They'll end up with a pet, and being a skilled nursing facility home by themselves. But anyway, I'm gonna share my final thoughts for today's show. I want to thank this amazing panel. We are back, and it's going to be a lot of great topics that we're going to touch on. Just to give you guys a sneak peek, we are going to talk about interracial relationships. We're going to talk about the ways you can communicate to increase your relationship. We're going to talk about the different ways you can communicate. We're going to talk about conversational depth and so forth. So many great topics coming down the pike that is going to make you want to keep up and learn all these nuggets so you can apply it and become a better version of yourself. So my final thoughts is that, listen, marriage is a beautiful bond that brings two people together, not only in love, but also in companionship, friendship, and mutual respect. It's sort of like a combination of having your best friend and lover in a loving contract for the rest of your life, right? And based on the notion and mindset of you and your significant other, it's all about working together against the world, and not you and your significant other working against each other in the world, right? So it's a big difference. Also, marriage is more than just a piece of paper. It's actually a three-way covenant between man, woman, and God, which is a pretty clear image that it's not the institution of marriage that's bad, or what people don't expect, or people that don't honor their vows, but instead it's the person you decide to spend the rest of your life with. And as long as you're with the right man or the right woman, trust me, you will continue to receive blessings upon blessings. All right. So once again, I want to thank this amazing panel, and much love to the DBDS family.
Take it away, Mel.